Magazine Monday, Magazine Monday, Magazine Monday. What are you reading today? Well, I'll tell you what. First of all, we got either B Zone or BZ1 or something of the sort. That's a little graffiti job I did on the side of that gondola, that ATSF gondola, on this nice little diorama made out of absolutely jack nothing. Those are great stuff. Canister tops, spray paint canister tops, pretty much. And then, yeah, we have a Walthers kit here, and then some old school Pike stuff right over there. That makes up this really cool diorama that I'm really stoked I built now, I think over a year ago, or I think we're coming up on a year. Something like that. Anyways, let's get to it. We are talking about Model Railroader from January of 2021. Now, for those of you that recall this magazine, I remember reading through it, obviously, when I first got it. But let's see what we got here. Ooh. By the way, an F59PH in Ocho scale. Look at that. It's a good old Rapido. Rapido trains. Rapido. However you want to pronounce it. I like this front plate. They really went all out with the details, didn't they? Anyways, I put out a Magazine Monday earlier today, and then halfway through, realized that, look at that Atlas. Good job on your GP40s. 40-2. You get the point. Oh, they even got the BN one. Look at that. So cool. Looks great. Good job, guys. Halfway through the episode, my microphone cuts out, and so you pretty much just see me flipping through a magazine without the commentary, which I think most of you probably would have enjoyed, much like this picture, mate. But the DMs that I get is people are like, I love the commentary. So that's why we do Magazine Monday, because it's me commenting on the magazines of yesteryear and have my own little piece of the piece. Normally I do something from the 70s, 80s, or 90s from this giant magazine collection I have from a family member. But you know what? Every once in a while we go a little bit modern. Look at this. You gotta love the Dash 840 CMs. This is the Canadian looking thing. Hang on, let's see. Are those 40 CMs? No, it's got to be how they do that. Ah, there we go. Look, see. Man, I'm so smart, man. Look at that. That looks great. Rapido just wins all the time. Good job, guys. Anyways, yeah, Rapido trains. Look it up. Dash 840 CMs. Love it. You know what I also like are these 840C diesels. That Atlas is going. Sorry, it's late. I'm tired. Kids are sleeping. Putting them to bed. Just got off the phone with some people. We've been chopping it up, and so my tongue is tied constantly. But Atlas, good job, guys. Their Dash 8 series, the Bs and the Cs, look so good. And the tooling is so good, and I'm so glad that they constantly put out stuff. I know this magazine's already 4 years old. Look at these Great Northern Jeep 7s, man. Man, look at these Jeep 7s, man. It's crazy to think, though, that these are Walthers as well. Tricks! N-scale. I bet you that's an Athearn. Is that an Athearn? Ooh, it might be Kato. No, handrails are too thick. That's got to be Athearn. Is it Kato? Probably is, actually, now that I'm looking at it. Let's look. Yeah, Kato couplers. Well, it's got to be Kato. Cool. HO scale details and accessories. You got a lit up supercharger right there. That'd be cool to have that on the layout. I have that. What? That's right here. Let's go find him. Let's go find him. There he is. Look at this guy. Boom. There he is. In the flesh. O-scale locomotives. Now, it's actually an ON30, so it runs on HO scale track. I will say, this runs dual mode. So you can have it in DCC mode or DC mode. And in DC mode, you have to turn the power up a little bit more. But in DCC mode, this thing operates like a beast. I mean, it operates like a beast on both modes, but that's pretty stinking cool. Right there. Right there. So nifty, Roo. All right, we'll leave you up here, dude. Look at that. Bum, 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 ba, bum, ba, bum, bum. All right, let's get back to it. Here we go. Lots of stuff to announce. We're gonna flip through, and we got a little bit of something coming to you. Menards.com/trains. Buy them at our nearest Menards store. You can buy a Starbucks, a Taco Bell, a Red Owl, or a Piggly Wiggly. Hi, man. There's a movie, Win a Date with Tad Hamilton, from the late 90s, early 2000s with Josh Duhamel. And the underdog of the story is a manager at the Piggly Wiggly. But Jessica, what's her name? It's not Jessica Biel. I'm trying to think. Anyways, hot chick from the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, is a cashier at the Piggly Wiggly who wins a date with a movie star named Tad Hamilton, played by yours truly. Sorry, no, that's wishful thinking. Played by Josh Duhamel. And if you don't know who Josh Duhamel is, just think Transformers, Marine with Tyrese. I love this. Modeling Forbidden Spaces. Ooh, this just became not a G-rated episode. Kidding. I'm going to sans the not G-rated jokes. I'm kidding again. Sometimes I like to model my own forbidden spaces. You know what I mean? Look at that, bro. Conrail SD50 number 6712 leads a late-running COSE through the interlocking and Syracuse, New York skyline in the background. One of Conrail's ubiquitous no trespassing signs at left. Dave shares some of the forbidden places he's added to his layout. We just got to get rid of that. Forbidden places. Whoever did this frickin' article. Modeling places. Modeling off limits. Ooh, modeling off limits. I like that. Forbidden places. I've got some forbidden places. Get away from me. Anyways, these are great photos, man. Look at this. That is some great model work. Speaking of which, there's your Walthers fences that have been upgraded, debated, and conjugated. And they still look amazing. And actually, those aren't even Walthers fences. This looks like somebody used a metal-etched fencing grate and then did it with some paper clips or something like that. Paper clips, big ones. Hey, Milo. You ever see the movie Atlantis? You'll know what I'm referring to. Add real rocks to your scenery. And if you do that, your scenery's going to rock. Ah! Look at that. So cool. I really love this. I do. You know what? As much as I complain about Model Railroading Magazine, now, granted, this is 4 years ago, but I just say, you know what? In this day and age, look, I almost thought it was my finger or his finger and my finger, like, hey, we're putting this together. No? All right. But I think that's something that really bothers me lately is that there's just, the Model Railroader magazines aren't as thick. Not as much papel being used, but for good measure, because all the advertising has gone online. And half the magazines of old were done thicker because of the advertisements. This is true. Using grout to model soil. I used to work at Home Depot, and in the flooring section, I worked there for about a month and a half, 2 months, and grout sold out all the time. Everybody always using it for their bathroom projects, but little known fact, some of the colors that you get with grout, first of all, once it dries, you've got yourself a solid scene. Literally solid scene. And second of all, the texture that goes with the grout, it's cheaper than a lot of, sorry Woodland Scenics, but some of the stuff that you guys sell is very expensive compared to a box of grout. You're modeling soil, and it has texture too. You don't got to buy some Woodland Scenics textured dirt. No, just buy some grout and go to it. And the care and feeding of tortoises. Now remember, one of the most important things about feeding a tortoise, always go with romaine lettuce. But if you need to, a little bit of just regular iceberg lettuce. Iceberg or romaine feeds your tortoise just fine. They'll chew it for hours. Done and done. Canyon country. Yes, I can. Especially in this country. Country road. I love this. Nice little, as you could see, what is it? Ember catcher is what they call it. It's an ember catcher. And as you could hear, my neighbor just started up his 2015 Dodge Charger next door. He loves that car. I love this. What a great shot. Let's go in tight here. That is a clean looking layout. Buddy, I feel like you cleaned this for weeks before they came in and shot some pictures. Dang. That looks rad. There's a nice little overview there. Let's give you a second there. Let's give you a second there. Let's lay out at a glance. Royal Gorge Route, 8 by 12 feet. Denver and Rio Grande Western, or standard and HON3 narrow gauge. Addison, Topeka, and Santa Fe, Union Pacific, blah, 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 blah. Look at these pictures. I love this little critter. Look at that. Whew! That looks cool. With a great looking, I mean, that is a really good picture of a town. Let me zoom out and get as little glare as I can from this. This cricket behind me is just driving me nuts. He's like, I'm letting you know I'm here. Thanks, cricket. I know you're good luck, but seriously, come on. Just calm down. Stop talking for a second. This is the Hanging Bridge. Look at that. Such a cool. If you were to ever model the Royal Gorge route like they did, look at that. They do the Hanging Bridge here. Obviously, this is compressed because you could see there is no tunnel there, and there's no tunnel here. But I still like that they compress and impress. I'm impressed. That's a great model. Look at that. Holy biscuits, what a great model. Just take a quick look. That's really good rock work. I would have gone a little bit more random with some of the rocks, but still great rock work. Looks great. Picture perfect. I love the Galloping Goose up topside, as you can see the Galloping Goose. Hey, everybody, jump on board. We'll throw all the mail in the back. Let's get up topside. And got this nice little steam locomotive. And, of course, because we're going, we got to stay of the time, we're going to go with a big steam engine that, no. Just a nice SD45 from Rio Grande. You could tell because you count not only the fans, but you also look at the fan placement and how the radiator grills are placed. And the SD45 still has the same amount of fans as an SD40-2 or an SD40, but what's the difference? The back radiator fans are flared. They hang over. They face you. They make you feel uncomfortable when you're trying to give a speech. Daunting. And then look at this. Creating better layout photos. Well, I think you guys are doing just fine right here. Good for you. We're going to scrounge through this. We're getting a little bit late in the evening anyways. So, mucho apreciado, as the French say. That's a great picture. Look at that. Hey, man, we got a Gulf Stream, Airstream, something stream, but I'm fishing in the stream, trying to catch a little bit of carpe. Come on, man. Seize the day. Or what is it? Come on. Carpe diem. Seize the carp. I don't know. Where are we at? Boopity bippity boppity boo. Getting on through with installing fiber optic lighting. Which in this day and age, you don't really need to install fiber optics, I think, unless you're going super Z scale, T scale, or wee bit small scale. But everything else, I mean, I do like the fiber optic lighting on this, but at the same time, hey man, we got LEDs the size of my pencil lead. Don't read into that. All right, let's go to the end of the magazine. Oh, I was looking at this today. Oh my gosh! I've got this over here. Where are you, bro? Where are you, bro? He's here somewhere. I see him. There's the DD40X. Selling that on eBay. If anybody wants it, go take a look. Oh, there it is. Ha-ha! Este is hiding. Boom. There he is. Look at this, bro. Let's move you over here, dude. Come on. Let's go for a walk. Bum 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 bum. Anyways, I hope you guys all enjoyed this Magazine Monday. Magazine Monday. Magazine Monday. But I really do hope you enjoyed this Magazine Monday. Look at this guy. You fit on the track so nice on the diorama. Good. Now that looks cool. Fun factoid right here. It's floating around somewhere. We have tons of new merch, and unfortunately I only have this out right now. We have train whistles that say Railroads Rock. Look at that. But we also have keychains and all that other fun stuff. If you live in the greater San Diego area and you make your way down to La Mesa, this, along with shirts, hats, beanies, and other things, will be available for the Christmas season in-house at Reed's Hobby Shop starting in the middle of November. Still got to talk to Ed about how we're going to do this, but one way or the other, so cool. There's that in HO. Here's that in N Scale. And appreciate you guys tuning in. Stay tuned. We went to the Great American Train Show this last weekend over in Del Mar, and there's no along the line here, so I think we're done. But look for new episodes coming up with special guest co-hosts. When Evan wasn't there, we had other people fill in. But starting next week, it looks like we're going to have our youngest guest on the podcast. We have a young model railroader, and I'm going to leave it at that. But you can check out Bryn Mawr Scale Model Company. I don't know. I'll post a link somewhere. But just remember, your most important signal is going to be your next one. And we'll see you next time. Happy Magazine Monday, everybody. Magazine Monday.